Welcome to today's episode of Gardener's History Garden, where we're diving into the foundations, teachings, and influences of world major religions. I'm your host, and today we're exploring Islam, a religion that today has over 1.8 billion followers around the globe. In the next 20 minutes, we'll cover the origins of Islam, its core beliefs, its history, and the lasting impact it has on the world. Let's get started. Islam was founded in the 7th century in the Arabian Peninsula. Its founder is the Prophet Muhammad, who is considered by Muslims to be the last and final prophet in a long line of prophets that includes figures like Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. Muslims believe that Muhammad was chosen by God, known in Arabic as Allah, to deliver his final message to humanity. Muhammad was born in Mecca, a city in present-day Saudi Arabia, around 570 CE. At the age of 40, Muhammad began receiving revelations from Allah through the angel Gabriel. These messages, which continued for the next 23 years, were eventually compiled into the Quran, the holy book of Islam. Muslims believe that the Quran is the literal word of God, revealed in Arabic, and serves as a guide for all aspects of life. The central message Muhammad received was one of monotheism, or worship of one God. This was not a new concept, as both Judaism and Christianity had already established belief in one God. However, Muhammad's message emphasized submission to the will of Allah, and those who follow his teachings are known as Muslims, which means those who submit. At the heart of Islam is the concept of Tawhid, the oneness of God. Muslims believe that Allah is the sole creator, sustainer, and ruler of the universe, and there is no deity worthy of worship except him. This belief in monotheism is foundational to all aspects of Islamic faith and practice. Muslims also follow 5 key practices known as the 5 pillars of Islam. These are the core acts of worship and the foundations of Muslims' lives. The first is the Shahada, the declaration of faith. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. This is the fundamental creed of Islam and must be recited with sincerity to convert to the faith. Second is Salat, the performance of prayer. Muslims pray 5 times a day facing the holy city of Mecca, at specific times at dawn, noon, mid-afternoon, sunset, and night. These prayers serve as a reminder of God's presence and the form of worship. Third is the zakat, or charity. Muslims are required to give a portion of their wealth, typically 2.5%, to those in need. This is seen as a way to purify one's wealth and promote social justice. Fourth is a swam. This is fasting during the holy month of Ramadan. During Ramadan, Muslims fast from dawn until sunset, abstaining from food, drink, and other physical needs. This practice fosters spiritual growth, self-discipline, and the emphasis for those less fortunate. Lastly is the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca. Every Muslim who is physically and financially able is required to make the journey at least once in their lifetime. The Hajj is one of the largest annual gatherings of people in the world, and it serves as a powerful symbol of unity and equality among Muslims. After Muhammad's death in 632 CE, Islam rapidly expanded across the Arabian Peninsula and beyond, spreading throughout the Middle East, North Africa, and parts of Europe and Asia. The early Islamic empire, known as the Caliphate, was led by successors to Muhammad called caliphs. Under the leadership of Rashidun and Umayyad caliphs, the Islamic empire grew significantly. One of the most important aspects of Islamic expansion was its intellectual and cultural achievements. During the Islamic Golden Age, from the 8th to 14th century, Muslim scholars made advances in fields such as mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy. Many ancient Greek and Roman texts were preserved, translated, and built upon by Muslim scholars, preserving much of classical knowledge for future generations. However, the Islamic world was not without its divisions. After the death of Muhammad, a disagreement over who should lead the Muslim community led to the split between Sunni and Shia Islam. Sunnis make up the majority of Muslims today, while Shia Muslims are the largest minority group. The division between Sunni and Shia has had a profound political and social consequences throughout Islamic history. The spread of Islam has also led to the creation of diverse Muslim societies, such as unique cultures, practices, and interpretations of Islamic law known as Sharia. As the centuries passed, Islamic empires such as the Abbasid, Ottoman, and Mughal empires rose to prominence, shaping the course of world history. Islam has had a significant and lasting impact on the world, not only through its spiritual and religious teachings, but also through its cultural, political, and intellectual contributions. As we mentioned earlier, the Islamic Golden Age was a period of remarkable achievements in science, mathematics, and philosophy, which influenced the Renaissance in Europe. Islamic art and architecture are also world-renowned. The iconic landmarks like the Alhambra in Spain and the Taj Mahal in India, showcasing the beauty and intricacy of Islamic design. Islamic calligraphy, poetry, and music have enriched global cultures for centuries. In the modern world, Islam continues to be a driving force for many parts of the world, influence everything from geopolitics to social movements. The establishment of the state of Saudi Arabia in 1932, the Iranian Revolution of 1979, and the ongoing political developments in the Middle East all reflect Islam's contribution to shaping the world stage. Muslims continue to promote values of peace, justice, and charity, both within their communities and in the global context. In fact, the word Islam itself is derived from the Arabic root word Islam, which means peace. True to its name, Islam promotes peace through submission to the will of Allah and through the creation of harmony in society. Today, Islam is the second largest religion in the world, with over 1.8 billion followers spread across the globe. Islam is practiced in diverse ways depending on culture, political, and regional context, but the core tenets remain the same. However, Islam faces challenges in the modern world, particularly with issues of religious extremism and misconceptions about the faith. The rise of terrorist groups that claim to act in the name of Islam have led to misunderstandings and stereotypes about Muslims, but the vast majority of Muslims denounce violence and extremism, advocating for peace, tolerance, and coexistence. In the West, Muslims are often confronted with issues related to identity, integration, and Islamophobia. Yet many Muslim communities are making strides to contributing to society, engaging in interfaith dialogue, and fostering greater understanding. In conclusion, Islam is a faith with deep historical roots, profound spiritual teachings, and a rich cultural legacy. From its founding with the Prophet Muhammad to its global presence today, Islam has shaped the lives of millions and continues to influence the world in diverse and meaningful ways. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Islam. I hope today's episode has given you a deeper understanding of the faith and its lasting impacts on the world. If you enjoyed this, please make sure to like and subscribe, leave a review, and join us next time as we continue to explore the world's great religions. Until then, take care and continue seeking knowledge.